An extended weekend for the Bills means fans might have a rooting interest in the Patriots game. New England taking on Indianapolis, Buffalo's next opponent, and one of the teams they'll have to track down if they have any hopes of making the playoffs. I'm standing here outside the Hockey Hall of Fame in downtown Toronto. If Thursday's meetings between the players and the league are any indication, we won't be seeing any more hockey memories from the NHL anytime soon. While some of the teams ahead of them were busy making trades in round one, the Bills decided to stay put at number 10, addressing defense with cornerback Stephon Gilmore.
Where the Bills have dialed it up a notch. Andy?
Well, Don, the first day with pads on, and as you might expect, had a few nicks and scratches out there, but nothing serious, according to head coach Chan Gailey. Wideout David Nelson left practice early with a bruised knee. As for Sean Merriman and Eric Pierce, they both sat out with minor issues, according to Gailey. Now, as for the guys on the field, a lot is expected out of linebacker Kelvin Shepard this season. He started 9 games as a rookie last season, and now he'll be counted on as the starting middle linebacker in Dave Wanstead's defense. It's a demanding position and a challenge Shepard is trying to tackle head on. Today it was the first practice with pads on. Tomorrow it's the first night practice, set to kick off at 6:30 here at Growney Stadium. Fans wanting to attend will have to purchase a ticket. Reporting from St. John Fisher College, Andy Young, YNN Sports. Black Friday proved to be yet another dark day for the NHL. The league canceling more regular season games and the All-Star game as the lockout drags on. The NHL announced all contests through December 14th wiped out. The total now up to 422 games, or more than a third of the regular season. The lockout also claiming the All-Star weekend, scheduled for January 26th and 27th in Columbus. Deputy Commissioner Bill Daly called the cancellations, quote, extremely disappointing. Union Chief Donald Fierce said the two sides are about $182 million apart on the core economic issues. The Bills with another big game on Sunday. Let's face it, they're all big at this point with an outside shot at the playoffs. Mark Anderson and Aaron Williams both ruled out against the Colts. Corey McIntyre, Brad Smith, and Spencer Johnson, they're all questionable. The Bills' defensive ends have shown improved play of late, and Sean Merriman has been a part of it. After being cut back in August, Merriman was brought back to add some depth. He had a sack and 2 tackles against the Dolphins. Head coach Chan Gailey called it Merriman's best game as a Bill.
You know, for one, you can't lose your faith and positive attitude.
3 state crowns in 5 years. That was the opportunity in front of Sweet Home. The unbeaten Panthers battling Burnt Hills, same team they beat in the Class A title games in both of their previous championship runs in 2008 and 2009. The Panthers, though, found themselves in an early hole. Quarterback Ryan McDonnell of the Spartans hits Daniel Nuzzi for the touchdown. Burnt Hills built a 26-point edge at the half. Sweet Home comes back to begin the third. Jordan Everett on the pitch, a final push to bulldoze his way into the end zone, and the Panthers cut into the lead. Later, quarterback Michael Torillo, the pump fake, looks long, hits Brad Zaffram, and he breaks free to the end zone. However, Burnt Hills was just too much. They took it 40-20 the final. Sweet Home finishes as Class A state runners-up. Randolph going for its 3rd Class D state title since 2005. Pat Slater and company taking on Tuckahoe out of Section 1. And the Cardinals get it going early. Chris Dubeck takes it straight up the gut, and he is gone. Untouched, 39 yards on his way to the end zone. Randolph on the board first, up 6-0. More from the Cardinals in the first quarter. This time they fake it to Dubeck, and the pitch goes outside to Jordan Tobias. And he is off to the races. 43-yard touchdown jaunt. Cards led it 14-7 at the half. Fourth quarter, Randolph puts it away. Tobias in for the score. He rushed for 161 yards and 2 touchdowns. The Cardinals tacked on one more for the 28-7 win at the Carrier Dome. Randolph, 2012 Class D state champs. And longtime head coach Pat Slater calls it quits, going out in grand fashion with his 3rd state title. We've got another sports update coming your way in less than half an hour, right here only on Time Warner Cable. I'm Andy Young, and that's a check of YNN Sports.
After now, 7, go after.
As a first-year head varsity softball coach,
Relax the grip here, 1-5, relax the swing.
Julie Murphy has some big shoes to fill, and she would know those shoes belong to her father.
He was diagnosed in November 2007 and was given 6 to 12 months, and I'll never forget the phone call when he said he wanted me to, I was JV coach at the time, and he wanted me to step up and coach with him just because they weren't sure, we were uncertain of the future.
Jerry Gentner kept on fighting for more than 4 years, continuing to coach through the 2011 season. He lost his battle with abdominal cancer in January at the age of 67.
It never affected him. He'd come with the chemo treatments, and he'd have the sack on him, and he'd come up here to practice.
It was great to see how courageous he was. It kind of made everyone around him fight harder and kind of have that positive attitude.
Jerry's legacy goes far beyond the 3 state championships his teams won at Williamsville South. It can be seen in the countless lives he touched and the saying, "Just show up," which he so bravely did even when things looked bleak.
He taught me so much, but the most important thing I learned from him was probably like how to love the game and just what it means to like play for South and how important it is to just give your best whenever you come to play and just to always try 100%.
The softball diamond at Williamsville South was recently dedicated in Jerry Gentner's honor. With the playoffs soon to begin, the team is determined to make a long run, like Jerry's teams did so many times.
I think everybody, we need to do well for him, and he'd be so proud of everything we've done and the way we've been handling things. I think we have a good motivation this year.
This was his most favorite time of year. He just loved it, and I know the girls, I'm trying to tell them that, how big, and it depends on who shows up that day and who plays their best. And that's really where I think my dad is in my head, because if we execute, if we get the bunts down and stuff like that, then I think things will go our way. So that's definitely a piece of him that's with us.
Lessons passed down from a father to a daughter and from one coach to another. Andy Young, YNN Sports. Take a trip to a St. Joe's football practice, and you're sure to notice something a little different about the Marauders' headgear.
It does look funny. Sometimes they come out with Argyle socks on because they forget their socks for practice. So, they look goofy in different ways when they come out to practice,
But all kidding aside, those helmet covers are designed to help with a very serious issue: head injuries.
Coach always talks about safety first. So whenever we get a chance to protect ourselves during practice, we know we're going to do what we have to do.
St. Joe's already had a few of the Guardian helmet caps, but after receiving $2,000 through the Buffalo Bills Coach of the Week program, they made the decision to purchase more.
We thought, what better way to utilize that for something for the program. So we went out and we got 40 more of these covers, and our entire varsity team now, they're not allowed on the field without one on.
Well, I think a device like this and other theories about extra padding in helmets is a good idea.
Dr. John Letty is the director of the Concussion Clinic for the University at Buffalo Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. He's also the principal investigator on an NFL research grant about when to return to play after a concussion.
It makes sense that if you can put something in a helmet to absorb force, it might reduce the forces transmitted to your brain.
Letty says it's an interesting concept, but it's not science yet. Further study would have to be done to find out if the helmet covers can in fact help reduce the incidence of concussions. It's a familiar idea, especially to football fans in Western New York. Former Bills safety Mark Kelso famously used a helmet cap to help him prevent head injuries. He's been an advocate for soft shell technology and is also a sales rep for the Guardian covers.
Set, hut.
Meanwhile, at St. Joe's, they're taking every precaution to protect their players.
I like them. I like them a lot, especially now I'm playing in a spot where I'm starting to hit a little bit more, and keeps me a little more safe.
If you prevent one, it's well worth it, It's such a serious issue now that we felt we needed to take it to another level to make sure that our kids are safe.
Reporting for YNN Sports, I'm Andy Young. Well, an historic day for the Buffalo Bills franchise. Mario Williams, now a Buffalo Bill, perhaps the biggest free agent acquisition in franchise history. They had to pay big bucks to get him, a reported 6-year deal worth $96 million. But the only numbers the Bills care about now are Williams' sacks and the team's victories.
And the number one guy for us from day one was this guy.
That guy is Mario Williams, the highly coveted defensive end who, after 2.5 days in visiting Western New York, decided to make the Bills his team and Buffalo his home.
Football is 50% of this, but the next 50 is how I'm going to feel comfortable outside of football, outside the stadium. So they really helped me out, and everybody's been a great help as far as, telling me the odds and ends, for around the city.
Another reason for Williams' decision was the chance to play along the same defensive line as Kyle Williams and Marcel Darius.
That was one huge sell, to me, was having those two guys pushing the pocket. And, hopefully I get the sacks. But but hopefully that's kind of how it turns out. But anyway.
Sacking the quarterback is what Williams does best, and that's been a major need for the Bills. The former #1 overall draft pick has 53 career sacks in 6 seasons. The Bills are getting the 27-year-old in the prime of his career with designs on making an immediate impact.
You don't get many chances like this and opportunities to come in and be the guy who, you know, can help the team get across the hump, and that's definitely what I'm here for.
We talk about wanting to be champions. That's the goal. There is no other goal, and he helps us, you know, get one step closer to that.
So Mario Williams, now a member of the Buffalo Bills, a player the team hopes will change the direction of the franchise. Reporting from One Bills Drive in Orchard Park, Andy Young, YNN Sports.